The wind howled across the rugged peaks of the Appalachian Mountains, carrying with it the scent of pine and damp earth. Jasper, a weathered mountain man with hands calloused from decades of chopping wood and mending fences, trudged through the rocky trail, his worn boots slipping occasionally on the loose gravel. Life in the mountains had never been easy, but he had learned to survive on the land's harsh generosity. That morning, the town had been unusually lively. A traveling fair had set up at the valley below, promising games, food, and performers from distant cities. Jasper had little reason to go down. He had a small cabin, a hodgepodge of vegetables from his garden, and a stubborn pride that kept him isolated, but curiosity, or perhaps boredom, tugged at him. The fairgrounds were crowded with people in colorful attire, laughter echoing through the wooden stalls. Jasper wandered among them, eyeing the rides with mild amusement. Then, near a dimly lit tent with faded red stripes, he noticed her. She stood alone, a hood pulled over her head, face mostly hidden in shadow. She looked out of place, delicate against the rough backdrop of the fair, yet there was a quiet strength in her stance. A small sign hung above her, mysterious fortune teller, $1. Jasper squinted. $1? That was nothing. He dug into his coat and pulled out a single crumpled bill, holding it up. I want a reading, he said gruffly, approaching the tent. The woman lifted her head, her green eyes glinting in the dim light. She smiled faintly, as if she'd been expecting him. "Step inside, traveler," she said, her voice soft, yet ringing with an unexpected authority. Jasper hesitated. He wasn't a man to trust easily, and something about her made him cautious. But the lure of mystery, and the sheer audacity of paying just $1, pulled him in. Inside, the tent was small but cozy. Candles flickered along the edges, casting shadows that danced across the walls. She gestured to a wooden stool and Jasper sat, eyeing her warily. "Give me your hand," she said, holding out her slender fingers. Jasper complied, feeling the cool brush of her skin against his rough palms. She studied his lines, his calluses, his scars. Her gaze was penetrating, unsettlingly precise. "You have walked hard paths," she said, "carrying burdens that no one sees. You are lonely, yet not empty. You fear the world, but you yearn for connection." Jasper blinked. Not many people noticed his loneliness. Most saw only the gruff exterior. "That's right," he muttered. She tilted her head, her hood slipping slightly to reveal a cascade of dark hair. "I can see it in your hands. And yet," she whispered, "there is a light in you that few will ever reach. That light, it is waiting." He laughed bitterly. "Light, huh? Don't see much of that around here." Her eyes met his, unwavering. "It's not about seeing, it's about recognizing." Jasper felt a strange pull in his chest, a warmth that had little to do with the candlelight. He had never been one to believe in fate or fortune-telling, but something about her words resonated deeper than any superstition ever could. "I've never done this before," he admitted. I don't even know what I'm looking for." "Sometimes," she said softly, "it's not about looking. It's about hearing." Jasper frowned, unsure what she meant. And then she spoke again, this time not as a fortune-teller, but as if addressing a part of him he had long ignored. "You're ready to let someone in. You don't have to hide anymore. You deserve someone who sees you, all of you, the scars, the struggles, the stubbornness. Someone who will walk the mountains with you, through storms and sunlight alike." Something in him cracked. Years of solitude, of suspicion and endurance, of watching the world pass by without a companion, began to crumble. The words were simple, yet they pierced straight to his heart. He looked at her, really looked, and for the first time, he didn't see a stranger. He saw someone who could understand him. "Are you saying you could be that someone?" he asked, his voice low, almost incredulous. She smiled, and it wasn't the mysterious smile of a performer, it was warm, real, and disarming. I "I might be," she said, pulling her hood back fully. Her face was beautiful, but it was the honesty in her gaze that struck him. Jasper swallowed hard, the single dollar he had given her now feeling like the smallest payment he had ever made in his life, for the greatest gift he could never have anticipated. When he stepped out of the tent, the wind still howled through the peaks, but it no longer felt lonely. Somewhere in the crowd, she walked beside him, and for the first time in decades, Jasper felt that maybe, just maybe, he had found the one person who could stand by him through the wild, untamed mountains and the unpredictable currents of life. For $1, he had bought a reading. For a lifetime, he had found a heart.